What I love about this album is it's so raw. It's just four guys in a room playing super, uber, duper inspired music. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Jacoby from Papa Roach. And if I was stranded on an island alone, what albums would I bring with me? Starting with number one, oh, Schnibbles, what we gonna start with? I'm gonna start with Kendrick Lamar and his brand new record, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. I just feel like this is a super special album for Kendrick, and so deep musically, texturally. It's a journey. It's a wild ride. And what I really love about it, about this album is the lyrics. I just feel like I get this super deep look into his life and his thoughts, and he's just like, he's laying it all out there, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I think I love hearing records where people are just completely vulnerable and are willing to admit their faults, but then also try to grow. Like there's growth in this, and he's telling this story about his life and the streets, and it's really I feel like I'm getting educated, honestly, on Black culture. I also feel like I'm getting a really deep look into Kendrick Lamar's life and in his mind, and I think when I see somebody that's humbling themselves or trying to change or evolve or get better, it's just so inspiring to me. Those stories of victory over self is it's empowering. It just moves me. The second record I would bring with me on this island if I was stranded would be Beatles' Revolver. I love the Beatles. I've had this album in my truck. I have a CD player in my truck, and it's the only album that's been in that CD player in my truck for the last 3 years. And it's every time I get in that car, I throw on Taxman right off the rip, go to Eleanor Rigby, and it just makes me feel good. It really makes me feel good. And I like this moment in the Beatles' history when they're really starting to delve into the experimental and into the psychedelic a bit, and really kind of break down a lot of creative walls and barriers that they had early on in their career. It's awesome to see. And they continued to do that. It was like, Beatles started as if they were like the Backstreet Boys, and then ended it as if they were like Radiohead, and this record's kind of somewhere in the middle of all that. And just such a great album, top to bottom. Let's say number three, I would have to take Wu-Tang Clan, 36 Chambers. Wu-Tang Clan, with one of my favorite groups early on, really inspired me, took me, I'd put this record on and it would just take me to this place. Take me to East Coast, New York City, the 5 boroughs, and it would paint this picture for me. And they just had such an interesting way of involving this Kung Fu element, this Shaolin monk element to New York street life and hip hop. And I just felt like it was a really dope cross section of art and culture and reality. And it's just one of those albums that it continues to inspire me to this day. It's like I'll go back and listen to it and I'll find something new and different about the album that makes me want to go back into the rehearsal space or want to go back into the studio and create again. And I'm stuck on an island, so I can't go in a studio and create. Ah! The number 4 album I would bring would be Rage Against the Machine, self-titled. What I love about this album is it's so raw. It's just 4 guys in a room playing super, uber, duper inspired music. And you could hear it in the way he's hitting the snare drum. You can hear it in the way Timmy C's playing that bass. Tom Morello, an innovator of styles on the guitar, still to this day, like one of my favorite guitar players. That's a dream collab for me. At some point, I'm like, Tom, dude, let's do something together. You're so dope. I love what he does. I love what he stands for. And just what an awesome human he is. And Zach, the vocalist of Rage, you can hear the anger and the raw emotion. It's just visceral. It's like you could just hear his vocal cords just like tearing into pieces as he's screaming. And an album of rebellion, you know, and inspired me to question reality, question authority, and dig deeper and educate myself. It really inspired me to learn, honestly. And I still listen to this record. It gets me off. It gets me motivated. You know, if I got to build like a hut on this island, and I'm struggling to have the energy to do it, I will put this record on and would be like, all right, let's go. I'm building this hut. I'm making this fire. I'm hunting that animal. I'm eating tonight. So yeah. And last but not least, I would say Kings of Leon, Only by the Night. Another really raw album. Sonically, it takes you to this place, and the drummer is, I'm really into the musicianship of these albums, and I really like the way that this drummer plays. He's got really unique sense of rhythm and timing and syncopation, and he'll take what would kind of feel like just a basic 4-chord progression and make it feel funky and odd and different. And I love bands that approach, you know, 4 chords and the truth with a little twist and a quirk to it. And their bass player as well really writes some awesome bass lines on this album. And it's got a little romantic edge to it, and a little sex appeal to this album that just makes me feel, it's inspiring. Top to bottom, like first song to last song, it's a no skip album, period. So those are the 5 albums that I would take if I was stranded alone. So if you were stranded alone, you should take Ego Trip by Papa Roach. Get it. Oh, yeah. Oh.
Hey there. Thanks for watching AXS TV. Subscribe, follow, like, and do all the good stuff. And make sure you leave a comment below. I don't know. Just let us know what your favorite AXS TV show is, or who your favorite bands are, and what artists you're into, or just say hi, man. I'd like to be told hi. We love hearing from you. That's the point, all right? Keep it coming.